New. That's totally new. That's a monumental step. I mean, that is a big jump uh, in movement thinking. What are you talking about? Design fitna means you're going to go head up with the people that you're struggling against and about, and you're going to design things, fitna, that they will respond to, and they will respond the way you want them to. And they're not going to be nice about it. They're not nice things. But those fitnas, when you go about it and look at it, I'll put it like this. The government has changed the names of some of our properties in Oakland. I mean, it's a whole block. It's from 8801 all the way to 8121. It's 8,000. It's 16,000 square feet. 8,000 square feet has buildings on it. That property was sold. That property is in our name. That property was sold because while we were here, there are people that we have nicknames like Baba Kloon and all that. So I would lean forward to Baba Kloon and I would say, they're going to sell our property. They're going to sell our property. And I would repeat it. It's almost like brainwashing. And they do. That's what they do. And it's illegal. It's illegal, but that's fine. That ain't nothing. We got a long way to go. In our first confrontation with the United States government, we didn't win like we wanted to. This was way back in the 70s, early 70s, in fact. With no experience, we took on the government, but we learned what we needed to learn. And even we might repeat some of that stuff that went on then. But we'd set up a whole program to challenge the government. And the only thing about it, the people that knew about it were all drug addicts, drug dealers, and that type of thing. So therefore, when I came and turned myself in to the government, which I've spent years traveling and organizing this package to challenge the government because they had set me up. And it was illegal what they did. So I spent all of that time to get the package together. And then I came and turned myself in. While I was traveling, I had all kind of law books. You know what I mean? I'd have people send me the federal rules of criminal procedure and all of that stuff. Black's Law Dictionary. It had a wonderful outline in there about conspiracy. So when a group of people work together, or entrapment, when the government works together on a common goal to entrap a human being, it is illegal because the human being has natural weaknesses. And it is against the law for the government to take, that's against the law. Well, it was against the law. It's still against the law, but it's a lot of flowery discourse mixed in there that they can do what they want, to you. Let me speed up and move toward a conclusion. Design fitna. Design fitna is, we learned from our first, going to prison, federal prison. And we threatened the government with what we're going to say this, we're going to do that. I was only able to get a couple of witnesses that would verify where I was coming from. One of them was a county sheriff in Alameda County, and he was a young guy, and it's a long story, but he was all right. Because I seen him come down to the federal court in L.A., and he had his Alameda County sheriff's uniform on. He knew what he was doing, and he knew what was going on in Alameda County in Oakland with me, because he's a county sheriff, right? And anyway, because I noticed how the government responded after they talked to him. They said, whatever they did up in Oakland don't have nothing to do with us down here in L.A. But it does. Anyway, let me get back at, it's hard to stay on track sometime or force yourself to have a short talk, which I'm going to do the best I can. Great recovery, a setback is nothing but a setup for a comeback. We have been dealing with this, what we're dealing with right now in D.C., for decades. But in this go-around, we had studied some struggles before. And one of the main ones that we liked had the concept of longevity. Longevity. It's like same way Martin Luther King used it. He said in when I've been to the mountaintop speech, the last one he made, longevity has its place, but he already knew whoever talked to him, you ain't gonna be here for a few more days, and that's it for you. Sometimes they get that message. Malcolm got the same type of message. So he knew that, okay, I'm gone. They asked him once in a question and answer, he said, I'm a walking dead man. Yeah, he used that term, I'm a walking dead man. So we studied everybody and all these people. We just told you about one of our good friends that might have committed a type of movement suicide. And they would commit movement suicide based on learned pessimism. Learned pessimism. In other words, learned optimism is one thing, but you can be trained to be pessimistic too. Like you can be trained to be optimistic, right? I'll use the quick dog thing that they use. They put dogs in the cage and they electrify the cage. So if the dog jumps on the side of the cage, it's electrified. If he jumped on the other side, it's electrified. When he lays down, it's electrified. Electrified. They're doing the study. So pretty soon, they turn it down a little bit, then they turn it up, and that dog jumps up and starts hollering, salivating, sweat, everything an animal can do. And he, again, jumps on the side to get out. It can't get out. It's electrified. Jump over there, it's electrified. When he lays down, he's electrified just to be laying down in that cage. It's all electrified. Then they turn it again. They turn it off, or turn it down again, and then they turn it up, and they turn it up, and they turn it up, and the dog don't move. They've trained the dog that there's no way you can get out. So he just lays there and defecates on himself, loses all body function, but he don't do nothing though. He don't even holler no more. Why? Because he's exhausted everything he can think of to get out of that cage. There's no escape. There's no escape. This is the thing that the government tried to do to our people. And 98% of the time, it works. It just hasn't worked here. So far, because I'm looking for everybody that I can look for to see, what's been happening to them, how they reacting to it. I'm looking for that I'm looking for it for the last 40 years. And because at that time, that's when I know what's going on. I mean, I have learned. The first experience, people didn't even get through that properly. So now we're into a period where you're trained to be pessimistic, right? And if you put another dog in that cage and turn up the juice, they'll jump right out because they haven't been conditioned. It's just like there's another one about this training. There's that, I think of the fish, but it loves a micro or something like that. So they got these cages, the fish tanks, barracuda and micro. Barracuda love micro. So they got a glass partition in there that barracuda can't see. So it's like glass ceiling. Zzz, dinner. Zzz, bam, he hits that glass. And of course, he's a little dizzy and he swam back a while. And he's getting hungrier and hungrier. He said, that's the only reason I didn't get him because I didn't try hard enough. Something is going on. He can't see the glass, so something else is going on. It's me. I better just put a little bit more energy and fin power in this and go and get dinner. Zzz, bam! And he hit the glass partition again. After a while, he gets hungrier, but they pull the glass partition up, and he swims up to where the glass partition was and goes back. And there's dinner on the other side. But he's not aware that they pulled the glass partition up. This is just normal. Why? Because he done went up, swam, he done tried all his might to get at that food, which he loves. Barracuda love micro. That's what they eat. Oh man, micro, not this old regular old fishy fish. We have a real dinner today. Micro, right? They eat everything, but this is what they really like. You do it with animals, you do it with human beings. They condition what they talk about, the glass ceiling for women. Glass ceiling, you put the thing up there, the bugs fly up, and then they can't get out there, they come back down. And after a while, all they do is fly around in that array. So it's a training, and it really works. It works. So a person have to study all of that, or could study all of that, and be determined that ain't no glass ceiling, ain't no glass barrier, and ain't no electrocuted cage. It ain't gonna work. Okay? So whoever goes through all of that, they have to have some special characteristics. They have to believe in something above and beyond themselves. And they have to believe, or they could believe, that there's another force that's observing this. And if they have trust and confidence in that reality, that they'll hook them right through it because they have made everything. So there's a belief system hooked to it. Now, the people is doing trained optimism. Or learned optimism is true too. But you can learn to be optimistic, right? That's why on our stuff we always have what? Love, optimism, and what's that other thing? Huh? Kindness. Yeah, that's what we fight with. We fight with that. Why? Because nobody's ever fought with that before. You got to think about okay, now everybody's tried hatred, meanness, right? Deception, but ain't nobody right. They tried all of that. What happened they tried? So you sit back. Now this is years ago. They haven't tried love. Well, that's Jesus sounding stuff. Still ain't nobody tried it. What about optimism? Well, the more you try to fight old boss man and he mess with